Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota has mobilized the state National Guard. Now, they are not in cities yet. They are just staging and coordinating with the Office of Public Safety in case they do have to get called in. If they are to be mobilized, they would be coordinating with Minnesota State Patrol to ensure that protests against the federal ICE agency raids stay peaceful and stay lawful. Just yesterday, a federal judge put restrictions on ICE agents in Minnesota, saying that agents can't retaliate against peaceful protesters, even if those protesters are shouting at them, giving them the finger, all that kind of stuff. That's legal. They cannot use pepper spray, or reportedly they might have been using chemical nerve gas to disperse crowds. That comes after several reports that a 6-month-old child almost died after being in a vehicle. They weren't even a part of the protests, but ICE released this gas and the baby was literally choking. So this judge is like, listen, you are dispersing these gases a little too willy-nilly, and it's getting into people's houses, into their cars. It's affecting the elderly and infants. You cannot just mass gas the crowd. And they also cannot detain protesters who are in their vehicle if that vehicle is not actively blocking ICE operations. So if it's to the side, or if somebody's shouting at an ICE officer from their vehicle, whatever the case may be, they can't try to pull them out of their vehicle and detain them. Now, yesterday when I posted about that judge's ruling, folks were like, who's going to enforce this? ICE doesn't care. Stephen Miller and the vice president told them that they have immunity. They don't actually have immunity. And I guess the National Guard and Minnesota State Patrol are going to enforce it. It's really important, if you are out there protesting, stay safe, stay calm. Don't let ICE escalate you into a tizzy. This is what they're looking for. They're looking to aggravate the crowd so that they have just cause to do really violent stuff. And know that Governor Tim Walz does have the National Guard staged nearby, and they are coordinating with the Office of Public Health and Safety and the Minnesota State Patrol to try and ensure that these protests remain safe and legal. I guess that's something also for you to know as a protester. Under this circumstance today, if you see the National Guard or Minnesota State Patrol, that's going to be a little different than when you see an ICE agent. The Minnesota State Patrol and the National Guard are there to help keep protesters safe, and the federal ICE agents are not, in my opinion. So that's how I would see the situation if I were in Minnesota right now. Sometimes you see the National Guard on your city streets and you see them as being sent by the president. In this case, the National Guard is under control of your governor. So that's just the facts about where we're at right now. I'm hoping everybody stays safe today, and I will update you when we have more.